Hey guys, Casey Roy here. Thank you for joining me for my third video, especially after the first two disasters. I'm not talking about the guy that does my lighting and my editing and my subtitles. He does a fantastic job of talking about myself. I'm just starting YouTube and Instagram and Twitter, and I've never had any of these. My learning curve is a vertical line. It's basically a wall I'm trying to climb. So I appreciate your patience. I hope you continue your journey with me. I'm going to talk about reviews today. I did it all in one video. But it was 15-20 minutes long, and I found from the analytics of my first couple videos that everybody's watching the first 2.5 minutes and then bugging the hell out. I'm not upset about that. I don't hold it against y'all. That's on me for not producing a better product. I'm still learning, so hopefully I can improve where everybody keeps watching. Reviews, they're the gold standard for authors, and all of this is from my experience and what I've learned as a first-time self-published author. We need reviews to sell our books. As a reader, you go down, you look, the first thing you see is that thumbnail. I'm using Amazon as an example. You move from that thumbnail, that cover, to the title, and then down, you're going down to the description where you hit the star rating. If there's 0 stars as a reader, typically you're going to bounce down to the next book. As a reader myself, before I self-published, I didn't want to spend 2-3 days reading a book that was unproven, it was crap. It applies to any product, really. The first time they make a car, the first time they make a TV, there's no reviews on it, you're typically going to skip to the next one. You're not going to spend your time and your money on something that is unproven. It may be crap, and you don't know. You don't want to waste your time. So same thing applies to books. Not for everybody, but I think for a lot of readers, it was for me. Now that I've self-published, I'm going to look at it a little differently. But that's how it is. So reviews are important. You need a certain number of reviews. What I found on Amazon, through research and just trial and error myself, is that once you reach 50 reviews, it changes the algorithm and your book becomes more visible. It appears in the searches more. It could be a coincidence with some of the changing some of the other things about my book, the keywords and stuff, but it did appear more. And once I hit 75, which was supposedly the next number, now when I search my book, if I go to an incognito tab and search for my book, it appears on the first page pretty much every time, usually at the top. There's another book by the name Sarah Sphere on there that appears with it, but totally unrelated. It's kind of weird. So reviews are important, and that's just my experience with it. Now, Amazon changes their algorithms all the time, how books appear and what searches they have. So as of this video, this is true. They may change it. They don't tell authors. So you need to pay attention for marketing and stuff, how your book appears in searches. Check it constantly. Change your keywords, adjust your keyword, whatever. But you need to pay attention to that. And so reviews are important, the number you have, up to a point. For me, once I hit that 75, it was no longer as important to get reviews anymore, simply because it didn't matter anymore. My book was appearing where it needed to appear when it was searched. The rest of my time after that, it had enough reviews that people would look at it. They wouldn't instantly skip past it. They saw that it had a good rating and it had a fair number of reviews. They weren't going to pass it up. It's no longer important how many I have at that point. What I went through after that was marketing for my book. I'm putting my energy in that, my second book, because it's just not important to try and struggle and get reviews. It's a lot of work going through all the forums and stuff I'll talk about in the next video. So the second thing for reviews I want to talk about in this one is how we take reviews as authors. Guys, what I found talking to other authors and forums and working with them was that a lot of people out there are really scared of getting bad reviews. They don't want them. They're basically in the groups looking for good reviews all the time. You can't do this. If you're worried about getting a bad review, that first bad review you get, and you will get them, it's going to crush you. It will demoralize you. It'll make it really hard to continue. And, you know, when you first publish a book, it's not like, oh, I published a book, yay, I'm done. No. It is a long, long struggle. You have to continually work on it in terms of marketing and putting your book out there, writing the next book so that helps your first book, and so on and so forth. It doesn't just stop just because you published it. And if you're demoralized because you got 1 or 2 bad reviews, it's just going to make it impossible for you to continue, and you're going to want to give up. Don't do that. The bad reviews, who cares? I had an individual that said my book was too Baroque, and I was really irritated by this. 1, because I had to look the word up to figure out what the hell he was even talking about. 2, because once I found out what the word meant, it wasn't what my book was. And I asked a couple of people that read my book, hey, is this book Baroque? So it's become an inside joke for me. It's too Baroque. It really irritated me. Now I laugh about it because I've learned to take that in stride. I've learned this process of reviews. You're going to get bad reviews. You're going to get people that say stuff that just doesn't make sense or whatever. Laugh it off, or if they're bad reviews, take the criticism that they have in there and look at your book objectively and say, well, yeah, I probably need to fix that, and use it to fix it and improve your book. Because if you're self-published especially, it can constantly be improved. This isn't something that's gone over by a team from a traditionally published publishing company. You're doing this yourself. You're going to make mistakes. Nobody's that good. Nobody's perfect. You can't find all your own mistakes. If readers find them, take it as constructive, take it as constructive criticism and fix the mistakes and move on. And that's how I feel about reviews. Don't take any of the bad reviews poorly. Just look at them and keep going. If you think it might be an issue for them, either don't look at them or have somebody look at it for you. But I would learn to take it in stride. There's just going to be people that don't like your stuff, and that's just the way it is. And that's how I feel about reviews. The next one, I'm going to talk about some of the ways I got the reviews I got. Some of the websites and forums and methods I use. There's a lot of them, and they have pluses and minuses, pros and cons, and some of them I'll use again. Some of them are just a waste of time. And I'll share those in the next videos, which will be 4 or 5 of them. So thank you for joining me with this one, and I hope you join me for the next one. You guys take care.